What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. In this video, I want to review the Cole-Tac Corset Suppressor cover. And this is an awesome suppressor cover. It's actually my new favorite suppressor cover. And what I love about it is that it's rated to a very high temperature, and you can cinch it down with threads rather than Velcro like some of the other Cole-Tac suppressor covers. They use Velcro, which is very convenient, but in a tactical situation or a hunting situation, that Velcro could get taken off. Okay, if you're going through some brush and a branch grabs one of the Velcro straps, it could pull that Velcro off and your suppressor cover is going to fall. So this is nice because it has this lace-up system here. Okay, you tie it like a bootlace. That's why it's called the Corset Suppressor cover. And it's rated for over 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And I have this thing sitting on my Silencer Co. Omega 300. And the rifle I have this suppressor mounted to is my Ruger M77 Hawkeye Alaskan chambered in 300 Win Mag. So here's the Cole-Tac Corset Suppressor cover. Okay, Cole-Tac, and they're made in the USA. Okay, check that out. And what I really love about this suppressor cover, guys, is that it doesn't take up a lot of room. Some other suppressor covers, the problem with them is you got to put a rubber sleeve over your suppressor, and then you take your cloth cover and put the cloth over the rubber. But with this one, you don't have to do that because it's rated to a very high temperature, so you don't need that extra rubber sleeve. Just this by itself without any rubber sleeve will give you 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit of protection. Okay, so suppressor covers, in my opinion, are mandatory. Okay, especially if you're going to be using your suppressor on a precision rifle. And the reason why it's important to have a suppressor cover on a precision rifle is you're going to get some mirage coming off of the suppressor after you take one or two shots, and you're going to see that mirage in the scope. It's literally the heat coming off of the suppressor, okay? And so it's going to get in the way of your sight picture. You're not going to be able to see your target. You're going to see these waves and distorted sight picture when you look through your scope. So putting a suppressor cover on your suppressor will prevent that. Also, it'll prevent you from burning yourself if you're going to be mounting a suppressor onto a CQB weapon and you do a lot of tactical reloads and transitions from your primary to your secondary. You could burn your leg if you drop your rifle down and that hot suppressor touches your thigh. You're going to burn your leg. So this will prevent that from happening. Also, what I like about suppressor covers is when I'm leaving the range, I don't have to wait 15 or 30 minutes for my suppressor to cool down so it's safe to put into my case or in my car. I can just put this right into my car, and this cover is going to prevent the suppressor from melting anything or catching anything on fire, because they do get really, really hot. They get as hot as a frying pan. With a 300 Win Mag, after 2 shots, this suppressor is as hot as a frying pan. Okay, just to give you an idea of how hot they get. And that's just after 2 shots. So they get really hot. But this thing is just awesome, guys. And I actually just keep it laced up all the time. And I don't have it like super tight. I have it tight enough to where it's snug, and I can just slide it over my suppressor like so. So I don't have to lace it up each time I want to put it on and take it off. And that's what I recommend you guys do with these, is just lace it up so it's pretty tight but not super duper tight. And that'll let you just slide it nicely on and off whenever you want to take it on and off. You don't have to unlace it and relace it, you know. So it's a really good suppressor cover, and these go for about $120 as of the filming of this video. So they're not cheap, but they're only $20 more than Cole-Tac's second highest rated suppressor cover, which is their HTP, and that one is just a few hundred degrees lower in rating than this one, and it's only $20 less. So in my opinion, you can pay an extra $20 and get this one, and you have more protection, and you don't have to put the rubber sleeve like with that one. Now, the HTP suppressor cover is great as well. If you want something quick and easy, it's got the Velcro straps. But if you want something for serious tactical situations, you really want this lace-up system here, okay? Because like I said, if you're in the woods, you're hunting, or you're in a SHTF situation and you have to deploy this weapon in a sniper role, and you're moving through the brush, and if you have a Velcro strap and you hit a branch, it's just going to come right off. Or if you're doing tactical drills, the Velcro can snag on your gear and the Velcro can pop off. So you really want to have this corset cover that laces up, you know. Also, if you're shooting a lot of heavy recoiling weapons or doing a high volume of shooting, like if you're doing CQB drills, what'll happen is if you have a traditional suppressor cover that's not laced up like this one, the recoil, it will cause the cover to slowly slide off in this direction, okay, towards the muzzle. So you're going to have to slide it back on after every couple of shots, which is kind of a hassle. So I think this is a great cover, guys, and stay tuned for some footage of this cover in action at the range. I tested this cover out extensively. It's my new primary suppressor cover, so I've tested it out, and I've shot probably over at least 50 rounds with my 300 Win Mag with this cover on. And 50 rounds doesn't sound like a lot for you AR guys. You probably shoot 50 rounds in a minute, but for a 300 Win Mag, 50 rounds, that's a lot of rounds, okay? So I've tested this cover. It works. It does get warm. If I take more than 2 or 3 shots in a row without letting the suppressor cool down completely, like let's say if I take 2 shots and then the suppressor is still kind of warm, and then I take another 2 shots and then the suppressor is still kind of warm, and I take another 2, then you'll start to feel this cover warming up, okay? But it's not like to the point where you're going to burn yourself. It starts to feel like a cool hand warmer, but that's normal. Also, when I first started using this cover, I would smell like a burning smell, almost smelled like burning hair, and I thought that something was wrong with the cover, but it's not. I think it's just part of the break-in period of the cover. You know, there might have been some fabric or something that heated up and just burned it off. So if you smell like a burnt hair smell, don't worry about it. It's just part of the natural break-in process with this particular suppressor cover. So stay tuned for some footage from the range, but that's pretty much it, guys. Take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. All right, guys, so I just took 2 shots with my 20-inch barrel 300 Win Mag, and I shot some pretty hot loads, some Barnes LRX, pushed to the max basically, almost, and this Cole-Tac Corset Suppressor cover is working pretty good. It's just a little bit warm. It's kind of like human body heat almost. But it's not hot or anything like that. You can feel like very, very slight warmth, but I'd say that's pretty good for 2 shots from a 300 Win Mag in rapid succession, especially a 20-inch barrel 300 Win Mag. So I think this is a great suppressor cover. And what I like about it is that it doesn't stick out too much from the suppressor. It doesn't block your field of view when you look through your scope or anything like that. Some of the other suppressor covers made by Cole-Tac and other companies, they have like a rubber thing that you put over the can first, and then you put the cover on top of the rubber thing, and then that combined makes the suppressor cover really stick out a lot. This is nice and slim. As you can see, it's not that much fatter with the suppressor cover on. It doesn't look massive. It doesn't look like I have a giant 40-ounce beer can sticking off the end of my rifle. So I'd say this is pretty good so far. I'm going to take a couple more shots and we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty impressed. All right, guys, I just took 2 shots with some AccuBonds 180 grain, and the corset cover is still cool to the touch. It's a little bit warmer than before, so I took about 4 shots in 15 minutes, which is a lot for a 300 Win Mag. That's about 3 to 4 minutes between each shot. So this can is starting to get hot. All right, guys, so I just took another 3-round string and I let the rifle cool down completely. So I waited like 20 minutes for the can to cool down, and I took another 3-shot string, and it's holding up good. It's working good. It's definitely warm. I can feel that it's warm, but for just, you know, a little bit of material, it's working really good. It's basically working as good as the HTP cover that I have, and I did a review on it. And the HTP cover is the same thickness as this one, but it has that little rubber sleeve that goes over your can. And this pretty much works similar to the HTP as far as how cool it stays. Maybe the HTP stays a little bit cooler, I would say. Maybe like 20% cooler. After about 2 to 3 shots, you can feel the warmth on this thing. But I mean, if you're shooting a 300 Win Mag, you're not going to be shooting more than 3-round bursts. Whether it's a tactical situation, a hunting situation, or if you're on the range, you're not going to be shooting more than 3 rounds in a row. In most cases, most of the time, just 1 or 2 shots. So definitely keeps the mirage down, and it's cool enough to where I can grab this, I can throw this in my car, and I don't have to worry about it melting my seat or something like that. And I'm going to actually slip the cover off, and I'm going to touch it. Oh yeah, it's hot. It's very hot, yeah. It's about as hot as a frying pan. After you take it off the stove, it's very hot. So there you have it, guys. Cole-Tac Corset Suppressor cover. It's just an awesome piece of kit. Absolutely love it.